Sophia never expected her whirlwind romance to end in betrayal. It had started like something out of a dream. A handsome, otherworldly man named King Aurelian swept into her life, charming her with his golden eyes and voice like music. He made her feel like the most special woman in the world. He promised her love, devotion, a future unlike any other. When he proposed, she said yes without hesitation. But she should have asked why she was allowed into a world no human had ever seen. The moment she stepped into the glowing realm of Etherwin, the truth shattered her illusions. She wasn't his first wife. She wasn't even his 10th. She was his 100th. Aurelian ruled over the fairy realm with unmatched power, and fairy law allowed him a vast harem of wives, each chosen for beauty, magic, or political gain. And now, she was just another one of them. Sophia's heart clenched as she stood in the grand palace, surrounded by 100 fairy women, each more stunning than the last. Their wings shimmered in the moonlight, but their faces were shadowed with cold resentment. One of them, a tall woman with emerald green wings, stepped forward. "Welcome to your gilded cage, human. We hope you like being ignored." That was when Sophia realized, she had been a fool. She had married into a kingdom of deception. And she would find a way out. Aurelian was not an unkind husband. That was the problem. He didn't love Sophia, but he also didn't mistreat her. He treated all his wives with the same distant, polite affection, like possessions to be admired, but never truly cherished. Sophia watched as some wives still longed for his attention. Others had given up, resigning themselves to their fate. But then there were those who hated him. Sophia found them in the darkest corners of the palace, the forgotten wives. Women who had once been queens, warriors, enchantresses. Women who had been promised devotion, only to be locked away once their novelty faded. One of them, the same green-winged fairy who had mocked her on her first day, sat sharpening a dagger made of stardust. Sophia sat beside her. "What's your name?" The fairy smirked. "Celine." "Tell me, Celine," Sophia whispered. "Have any of his wives ever tried to leave?" Celine's smirk vanished. "You don't leave Aurelian. You either become invisible, or you become a threat." Sophia felt a slow, dangerous smile spread across her face. "Then let's become threats." That night, in the depths of the palace, Sophia gathered the scorned wives, the ones who had been ignored, betrayed, and discarded. She learned their secrets, their strengths, their magic. A plan formed. They would not be silent. They would not be forgotten. They would overthrow the fairy king. On the night of the Moonfire Festival, the palace was alive with celebration. Aurelian sat upon his throne, his golden crown gleaming, unaware that his 100th wife was about to end his reign. Sophia moved through the grand ballroom, exchanging glances with Celine and the others. They had spent weeks weaving their plan, whispers in the halls, stolen potions, hidden weapons. Now, it was time. Sophia raised her glass and smiled sweetly at her husband. "To the great King Aurelian." The other wives lifted their glasses, their voices like a melody. "To the king." Aurelian drank, and froze. His golden eyes widened as the enchanted wine seeped through his veins. Not enough to kill, just enough to weaken. Celine lunged first. Her dagger struck the throne beside his hand, and in an instant, the ballroom erupted into chaos. The forgotten wives rose up. Magic crackled through the air, wings unfurled, weapons clashed. The centuries of silent suffering had ended, and Aurelian finally faced the wrath he had long ignored. Sophia stepped forward, watching as the once mighty king fell to his knees. "You never loved any of us," she whispered. "So now, we will love ourselves." The throne shattered. The fairy wives claimed their own power. And when the dust settled, Aurelian was no longer king. The fairy kingdom belonged to its rightful queens.